and welcome to episode 3 of Hegemone, which is Blanket Fort's very own homebrew take on John Harper's system, Blades in the Dark. As usual, would someone please give me a nice little recap about what happened last time?
Last time, we once again split the party, because that's always a great idea. Ace went off to chat with Kara in this very cool little train car, finding out that Kara is definitely being followed. Shock Kara. And also that our diplomat, Herb, which is a delightful name, wonderful name is on a planet, by the way, perfect, no notes, that Herb and a number of other members of the Circle of Flame have gone missing. Shock, shock, horror, horror. And we're gonna continue to dig into that in the session, I am sure. Rhea and Billy went off to talk to Dia, who turns out to be Billy's ex, who did some double crossing on the behest of Billy's parents in order to get onto the corporate ladder, because what a cow. Rhea promised not to say anything and obviously lied, because that's how they do. But we found out that the person who's been following Kara this whole time has been Dia, attempting to once again rise that corporate ladder. But Billy, by begging and not really begging and pleading, by being a cantankerous little so and so, but in a way that the Dia, everything he finds very emotive, told Dia to stop tailing Kara. But can we trust Dia? We don't know yet. Ka-chow. Sorry. I don't know where ka-chow came from.
Lightning McQueen just jumped in.
No, this has to happen in every episode now. Someone has to just go ka-chow.
in the recap. Ka-chow from now on.
And then Rhea went off to chat with Ida to see if there's any news about if the seed or Demeter is going to be in any kind of an exhibit of any kind. Ida didn't know anything. And so we also found out from Kara that Herb went missing in a bar called the 7 something or the Sins. And when Rhea found this out, was very mad because Rhea ran a bar called the 7 Essential Sins, but shut it down. So who's running it now? We don't know. We also need to decide how we're going to go about convincing Dia to back off, because some of that Kara is part of this little revolutionary plot, because Hegemone is wildly unethical, doing lots of imperialism things, and potentially genocide. And so Kara is part of a circle within the Circle of Flame, Bants, that's trying to take down the power structures that be. So the question is, do we bring Dia in on the plot or not? Billy's going to be going off to talk to Dia about not ratting in not being in the revolutionary or whatever. I'm going to be heading off, Rhea's going to be heading off to the 7 Essential Sins to bash some heads in and find out what the hell is going on. And Ace is going to be doing some following and some tailing and some general espionage things. And I think that is down everything. Amazing.
Yep.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Let's dive back in. We'll jump right in with the mess that is about to go down. Whomst would like to start?
If we all stare each other down, someone will go first.
I will go first, seeing as apparently everyone is feeling shy today. I will kick us off. So I'm heading over to the 7 Essential Sins. Mad as fuck, but also knowing that if we're gonna get the information that we need, I can't actually go in all guns blazing, because that's not Rhea's style. Not really. So I go to the old location, and surprise, surprise, there's not a ton of activity on. But I go and I use the old coded knock from back when I ran it in an attempt to enter.
To your surprise, that works, and you get let in.
As I go in, I see that the bar staff are people. There are only a couple of people on bar, things like setting up later in the evening. There are people I know, but not people who worked there when I ran it. And I go up to the bar, you know, sweet as you like, and very kindly ask, is the manager in?
The bar staff all look at each other, like one of them is giggling in a corner, and they all kind of go, well, no, the manager, you wouldn't have been able to come in if the manager had been in. I'm sorry, who are you?
I am an old patron from a while ago, and I heard that the Seven Essential Sins was back up and running. Very exciting. I actually, way back when, used to run a couple of card games, and I was wondering if the manager's around. Actually, do you have the manager's name at all? Because I hadn't actually heard that bit.
They look at each other. This is confusing. The bar is not open to the public. The fact that you've managed to get in to them already is weird because two things. They know everyone who comes here. They've never seen you, but only the people who are allowed in have the code. So they're dealing with that, and you're weird, looking like a cop, asking for the manager.
Could I roll consort to get them on side, being like, yeah, you know how it is. Everybody on Hegemone needs a side hustle. Everybody needs to be like dealing with something. I'm just here trying to get, you know, a little bit of extra coin, but I need the manager on that. So roll, please, God, work with me. 6.
Incredible. Right before we resolve this, I want to know what Ace is doing.
Okay.
So Ace has followed Rhea down the street. And then has surveyed Rhea as Rhea opened the door. As Rhea did this weird little knock on the door. To work out what the knock is. Cool. I guess I need to do that. I can't just be like, I see what the knock is.
No, you got a survey.
Okay, cool. So I have one in survey. So here we go.
Go ahead.
A 2.
Susie, I want to say throw those dice in the bin, but I feel like you've been swapping dice and they've all been awful.
Ace is just not allowed to do anything in this game.
No!
I have extra dice that I haven't tried yet, so I haven't tested them for rolling. Ready?
No, I trust this set. This one in particular is very pretty. It should roll well.
It is. Unfortunately, it rolled a 2. So what I'll say is you didn't see the knock as it happened.
Okay, and then as Rhea gets let in, is it like someone is stood behind the door who lets them in?
No, it looks automated. Like from the outside, nothing is showing you that this is a door that opens.
Okay, cool. In which case, can I now try and tinker with the door to get myself in?
Go ahead.
We might be here a while.
The great enemy of all RPG games.
I got a 5!
Nice!
Never mind, I take it back.
Oh my god! Cool, so tell me how you manage to open this door, and what I'll say is it won't be as discreet. That's your consequence for not rolling a 6.
Ooh, okay, that makes sense.
You can resist consequences if you want.
You can.
As a reminder.
I think I'd like to resist that. I think there's no point me getting in here unless it's discreetly.
Okay, so resisting roll. means that you're sacrificing potentially up to 5 stress, because what you're doing is you're taking 6 stress, and then you're going to be removing an amount that is equal to, let me check so I'm not lying to you. So I get to decide which of the 3 categories of actions is involved here, and I think it is going to be the consequence you're going against is like stealth adjacent. So I'm going to say that you're going to be resisting with prowess, which means that you take the dots that are in the leftist, the most leftist part of, like in the column that's on the left of your character sheet under prowess, and that's how many dice you're rolling. You roll with 2 dice. Regardless, you've negated that consequence. Whatever the highest result is on one of those 2 dice will reduce your 6 stress.
Now, before you roll,
what?
Are you confident in those dice?
These are the 2 that got me 5s.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh no, I've jinxed it now. I've already got 2 stress as well, I should say. So let's see how this goes. I got a 4.
Cool.
I got
So
a 4 and
only-
a 1. So my look of excitement was when it wasn't just a 1.
Yeah.
So that's 2 extra stress,
Yeah,
right?
so you take 2 extra stress and you've successfully negated that consequence. No one's heard you and you're now in the bar. Or you've opened the door at least. I don't know what you want to do now.
So opened the door, and then in my head, like off to the right is like kind of the big like bar kind of, space. But off to the left there's like a little corridor heading off, and I'm going to go down there.
Sure. Go down
And I'm going to keep going until I see something that looks like a kind of office room or something along those lines.
Okay.
I'm going to keep exploring. And
Yeah.
I suppose prowl so that I don't get found, shall I say? I'm going to keep prowling around until I find something that looks like where there would be like evidence or like, not evidence, records of things.
Cool.
Prowl, I've got 1 in. I got 4.
Cool. So you definitely managed to like sneakily-ish walk around this corridor, and you get to the back of it, and there's the archive room, and then there's a locked door that looks like the manager's office.
Is there anybody in there? Can I see that? Or is it like solid door?
There's nobody in there. It's one of those doors in those kind of like old factories where the top bit is a window with like a grid on it.
That's
And you can
exactly
see
what I
through
was
it it's dark inside, so from as far as you can tell there's no one in there.
So Ace kind of like sneakily looks either way into the room and uses a tentacle to just kind of like try and open the door. Does it open?
The office is locked. The archive room is open.
In which case, Ace sneakily along the wall shimmies with all the tentacles. And then into the archive room.
Okay, and then we'll cut back to Rhea arguing with this bartender.
Consorting with the bartender.
Consorting.
Being like, because I rolled a 6, so we're besties now, I imagine.
Your besties, basically, beyond it being besties, you've made your presence here. You've justified your presence here somehow in a way that was convincing enough that with the knock and whatever you've said, the bar staff is now unsuspicious of you.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, would it be at all possible to just, as someone, actually, when's the manager coming back, do you know? At all?
So, it's weird that you don't know this, but, like, we don't answer to a manager, we answer directly to the Oracle, so...
Oh,
this is like her
so cool.
space. Yeah, we don't see her often, but like when she's here, we need to leave, and she does like her little secret things here.
That is so cool. Like, love a little bit of espionage. That's so actually, an old buddy of mine used to, I think, come see her, which is how I know that, it's back up and running. And I haven't actually seen him in a hot minute. I was wondering, so, white guy, bald head, beard, snake tattoo, probably went by Bob. As much as I love him, kind of an arrogant prick, not gonna lie, probably doesn't tip well, I know. But he has hidden depths. So I was wondering, like, last time he was here, you know, like, when was it? What was he like? Because, I mean, yeah, you know, we're supposed to go for coffee today, and he just didn't show up, but it's not like Bob to do that. So have you? Like,
Yeah.
when was he last here? Do you know?
Like, a couple of days ago, yesterday, don't really remember. He was definitely here, but it was right, you know, before one of those meetings that we all need to leave for. So we don't. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't know where your friend is, but he was definitely here.
Do you remember what kind of mood he was in? Was it anyone that he talked to? Because genuinely, I'm just really worried about him. This isn't like him. And so anything you could tell me at all.
Do you want something to drink? Can I get you anything?
Actually, yes, a margarita would be amazing.
Obviously. Margarita rice for you.
Yeah.
I've asked around. No one really knows what happened to him because, again, we really aren't allowed to stay when these meetings happen. I remember he looked like a man who was like, you know how children, right? They'll do something a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
And then they'll have this like look on their face when the parent is then like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, kiddo.
Oh, that's Bob. He's always up to his shenanigans.
He looked up to shenanigans. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so
but no, we've not seen him, and to be fair, like, we'd see him pretty regularly before. But this was the first time that he was actually involved in one of those meetings that we can't stay for.
So, by the way, as an aside, has anyone lied to me yet?
Nope.
Fantastic.
Apart from, like, Ace hiding in a corner, but you've not seen them, so you wouldn't know.
Sorry, a couple more things, like, because anything can get to try and figure out where he's hiding, yeah. So, did he, I mean, I know obviously you're not meant to see these meetings, but, like, remember, I used to work here. I know that there were these little nooks and crannies where you can hide just to get some A+T. So did any of you, like, see anybody else that he met with? Like, anyone he had a chat to, bought a drink for, anything like that?
No, you know, they kind of, like, they come in, and then usually what happens is they turn all the lights off, and then everyone knows that when the lights are off, you leave, and then usually the person who's here for the meeting will, like, go to the back room. But, you know, so they go there specifically because they know that you can't, you know, if you actually, you know you can't.
I know. But, like, the manager's office is super secure. I know that very well.
I wonder who made those plans, because damn, is it difficult to get into.
Yeah, I know. I'm so aware. Anyway, thanks. You have been amazing. If you
Come
don't
back
mind,
anytime. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, actually, what I'm gonna have. It's a little sentimental of me, I know, but I worked here way back when, and when, you know, like, in the Oracle or whatever, I'm gonna see if I can get in touch or something, so I can just, like, or even just, like, come back another day just to see if I can run a game or whatever. But before I do, I'm just gonna have a little bit of a wander around, you know, take a trip down memory lane. So
you need.
Yeah, I will. I'll just see myself out. Don't worry about it. Oh, and I slipped, like, a note across the table. Just a tip from me to you, because I know you guys are the hardest working people in this place. I know how this goes. Anyway, toodles. So now I take a like I go down the corridor that Ace just went down. But I find along the like right-hand wall just a little like secret hatch that takes a back route up towards the manager's office.
Cool. So before we resolve that, we'll go back to what Ace has been doing whilst this conversation has been happening. What do you want to do?
So in the archive room, I'm assuming there's no one else in there.
No. It's no time for the bar.
Okay, and then I'm going to survey just to like look at everything that's in there and work out if there's anything that looks like it would be remotely useful for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
3.
You could ask for a devil's bargain.
I don't think you can after you rolled.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, to add another dice, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah. I keep forgetting about the fact that every time my roll is not good, I'm going to have some kind of issue that gets developed because of it. It's not just that I don't succeed in the thing, it's that also there's a negative consequence.
What I'm going to say is that you don't find anything in this room because everything has been redacted out from like a lot of the stuff here.
Do I get a gist of like what it is that's been redacted? Is it like lists of like events and stuff and it's just crossed out where, when, who? Like what's the...
It's who.
Okay.
And basically how I'm going to do the consequence is I was going to give you 3 actions before Rhea is in the office, and now you've only got 1 left.
Okay, I'm going to open the door of the archive room and kind of sneakily stick my head out and then kind of shuffle over to look through the door into the manager's office.
Okay. Are you trying to do anything? You've got 1 action left before...
I'd like to survey the door just because, like, I want to work out, like, if I was going to get in there, what it is that I need to do. If that makes sense. Or I could maybe just dive straight in with Tinker and I try and get it over.
Yeah, you could just go straight in with
Tinker.
Yeah.
Tinker it is. I've got 2 for Tinker.
Also, I meant to be doing, like, position and effect, but so many of these have just been the normal thing that I've not...
Yeah.
Like, I'll make sure I tell you if it's anything else than risky standard, but it feels weird to always be like, the position is this and the effect is this.
That makes sense. Cool. Tinker, let's do it. I'm going to get into that door.
I believe in you,
Do
dice.
you want a devil's bargain?
I've rolled them now. I got 2 1s.
What the fuck, man?
If you guys could just give me 1 second.
Like,
just one second.
Ambereen, give Susie more dice because this is ridiculous.
This is insane.
So for anybody watching, me and Ambereen are just in different rooms of the same flat. So Ambereen's not going to appear. Are these all for me?
Yes.
Oh my god, I have so many more dice now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, right, so...
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'm
you rolled
sorry,
a 1.
everyone.
No, it's fine. The consequence is that you've now, like, permanently damaged this lock, and someone's going to know that you've tried to get in, and also Ray is going to appear from, like, a secret back cupboard, like, filled with files. That's going to weirdly open, and then Ray is going to pop out of there.
So I emerge and I look, and Ace is on the other side of the door.
Ace is going to kind of like duck behind the door to be hidden, and then just kind of like...
You know what? So I go, I see the lock has been damaged, I'm not going to mess with it anymore. So you know what, I just signal for Ace just to get lost and leave.
And then I'm like...
No, I can't fix the lock because you broke it, you stupid twazzock.
It's only damaged on my side. It's fine on your side. Get in.
You know what? I ignore Ace. Fuck him. And go back into the room.
Yeah.
And I am, I think I'm going to, it's now my turn to roll survey, because I am looking for a ledger or some files specifically that will contain information about these meetings. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Yep. So I have a single die.
Gotta let Ace help.
Ace is very pissed right
it's frozen.
now.
The thing is
I'm
frozen.
not sure if Ace is stressed on behalf of Rhea to help Rhea.
Let me quickly, I need to open up a new dice roller because the other one froze everything. I got one good roll and then decided to fuck off. Okay, so I think I am going to expend 2 stress on this one. Because I am stressed out and I'm not yet ready. Because here's the thing, if this fails, then I'll go back and get Ace. But right now I'm mad. So I've expended 2 stress to get 1 more die. And now we roll. 6. Dice number 1 is a 2, but the second die is a 6. So it was worth it.
Definitely worth the stress.
See, Ace didn't need you and your snooping ass self.
I love how great we are at teamwork.
Yeah, you're such a, tight knit, like this.
It's just because Rhea's a selfish cow, okay? I made them to be a self-serving, amoral piece of shit. And they have continued to be a self-serving, amoral piece of shit.
And it's been successful.
Yeah. I love that Ace has now been quite successful in getting into somewhere and prowling without anybody finding them, but has managed to get nothing useful out of it.
Okay,
it's
so
marginally better. Yeah.
Rhea, you're now snooping around this office. You know it by heart. You know where all the hidden little secret compartments are. You even notice that one of them still has your stuff in it. That's how secret it is. They haven't found it yet. What are you looking for specifically?
So I am specifically looking for information about when the meetings happen and who attends them.
You're gonna find in one of the most secret of all secret places. You know that there's maybe 2 other places that are more secret than this one, but this one is very, very secret and sneaky. And you find in there an old notebook that has the same crackling sound as the Circle and Flame Library headquarters had when you open it. It doesn't sound like paper, it sounds like actual branches breaking when you're opening it. And you look inside and you find 2 things with that 6. You find that what's been going on in this is that immediately after you closed it, even though you were super neat about making sure all of the loose ends were gone, somehow the leaders learnt about it, and they've been using it ever since to have important meetings in. And there's a closed list at the back of this book of who's allowed in and who isn't. And when you look, it's the leaders of all the factions who are allowed in, the 3 barkeep that you saw, and a couple of people from each faction who are basically the second in command of the leaders. And that's the list of who's allowed in, of who's meant to know that this place exists. And that's the first thing you find. And the second thing you find is some sort of code or mechanism imbricated with inside the pages. It's
engraved in no, it's
sort of
embossed.
Embossed.
Yeah, sort of embossed. There's like a mechanism here, and you don't know what it does, but if it's here, it's probably important. And you can like look into it. You can show it to Ace's great tinkering skills.
All right.
When you say a mechanism, do you mean like it's not like it's drawn on the page? It's literally like inside the book that is a mechanism.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Within the pages.
Like embedded.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not going to take the book because that's too obvious. I'm definitely not that was in there. So I'm going to go open the door and let Ace in. What you doing here?
I mean, come on, we both know what I'm doing here. Let's just get on with this. Also, can I point out, Ace has already started walking down the corridor at this point. Ace hasn't just been stood by the door waiting.
Yeah, so Ace, in here, what? How often?
Be in there now, okay?
How often do I ask you for favours? Don't answer that. The point is, this one was important. I don't think you literally don't understand. Okay, alright. Good news is, I do actually need you for something. There is some kind of a mechanism or a cipher or something embedded in this book. I don't know enough to figure out what it's for, what it does, but you might be. So go on.
Okay, I'll have a look. First of all, as well, though, I can't understand how important this is if you don't tell me. So that's fair on me, but I will sort this out for you now.
No,
Let's pick
because
this up later.
I specifically asked you to trust me. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. We will discuss this later.
We'll discuss this later. I look at the mechanism and I'm going to survey it. Or, you know what, I'm going to tinker it. I'm going to just like stick my hand in there and kind of try and play with it and see what happens.
Sounds good.
Can I expend 1 stress to lend Ace such die? Because
I've already got 2 to be fair, but I can have 3.
I love that has been good.
It's the new ones.
Still, because I feel like the moment you're like, I'm gonna mess with this, Rhea immediately gets very stressed because the last time you did that, you broke the lock on the door. So yeah, I'm taking up an extra.
That's fair.
I'm handing another die. Thank you. You're welcome.
I could feel Rhea's stress behind me and I'm like, oh, I can't mess this up. I mean, yesterday was not a good day with the vents and the shower and the... Okay,
That was
I've got to
today,
get
I
this
think.
right. 3, 3, 2.
I tested those dice.
happening?
I tested them.
I'm statistically impossible.
This happened last time I played an RPG with you.
It did.
Oh my god. How is this
Why are you cursed, Susie?
Okay.
Can I... Oh, sorry, let's do this first and then I also have another idea, but...
So here's what happens. Actually, I want to hear your idea first, because the consequence of this is dire.
I want to take a picture of the book just so that when I get home I like have time to look at it as well. Rather than right now instantly having to work out what it is.
I guess I'll let you do that, but you might not need it. Because as soon as you start tinkering with it and you get it wrong, you immediately get sucked into the book. The 2 of you. Because you've both helped. And we're going to move back to what Biddy's doing.
I helped you. I helped you. I have no way of knowing you drew a book. The one time I go against my self-serving nature. The one time I did literally anything altruistic.
I mean, let's be honest. You were helping Ace figure out the thing that you wanted them to figure out, so it wasn't
Not the
really...
point. Not
Okay.
the point.
Rhea, you have every right to be mad at me right now.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, I'm gonna say, where the fuck are we? And then
And then cut to Billy.
So sorry.
But yes, so I'm just heading to Thea's again.
Yep.
And same thing, garden door. I'll knock on it.
Cool. This time she's not reopened the blinds yet, since you were here like 20 like half an hour ago or something. And she's gonna take a bit longer to open the door. You can tell she's been crying, and she's gonna open the door, like just creep it open and just go, "What more do you want from me? I've got things to be dealing with right now."
I just walk in again.
Okay. Sure.
We hadn't decided on all the things before we left because we were too preoccupied with other stuff. So I just wanted to find out, are you still following Kara?
Not always. Like, I'm not following Kara right now.
Okay, well, could you stop?
What do you have with
Please?
Kara now?
As a favour, could you stop? And also, so we think that this is less about having the seed and more about destroying Demeter. Do you know anyone who has beef with the whole planet? Could you use your following energy on that instead, please? So we can work together.
I need
on
my
this.
following energy for something else right now. And she's stressed. Like, something's... Like, this is not the same... like, something else has come up.
What's happened? What's up?
Nothing. Nothing's happened. It's fine.
What's happened?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
Because... This is a secret. It's a secret. It's secret.
You're the one that
And
wanted us to
she's
work
like,
together and stuff.
You've not noticed this since you walked in, but one of her hands has been behind her back the entire time.
Alright. Fine. Whatever. But can you at least stop following Kara? And maybe we can slowly work to being normal.
Sure, whatever you say. But if I miss something big, I'm blaming you.
This is fine. And then I go for a hug and I try to grab whatever's behind.
Okay. What do you want to do that with?
Skirmish? Do you think that would work?
Let me
A skirmish hug.
A skirmishy hug. I think it works.
Basically, it's like a
skirmishy
borderline
hug.
grapple.
Yeah, like a grapple.
Borderline grapple.
I like, because I'm so big and beefy,
Yeah. She's much.
a hug would feel like a grapple.
She's only 6'3", so you've got the height.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay, so you grapple her, and she's like, at first she doesn't see what's happening, and then she feels the piece of paper that she's hiding behind her back leaving her hand. And she's go, "Hey!" and pushes you away, but you've got the piece of paper, and on it you find 2 things. The first thing is the note that you left in your own locker that says, "Are you okay?" And the second thing is a set of coordinates.
What?
I work with Cleo too, okay? He's disappeared. I don't know where he is. I'm worried.
But if you knew it was... Why is your default to just keep things to yourself? Always.
Oh, because finding someone I really loved turned out great for me, didn't it?
That's... 1, you destroyed that yourself by keeping things to yourself. For one thing. So you can't use that as an excuse. And 2, you literally know that I'm the one other... You've got my note. I'm the one person to tell.
I wanted... I saw you being weird, okay? I've been watching you. Of course I've been watching you, but I didn't want you to think I was the creepy ex watching you, okay? I needed to make sure you were okay. And so I've been listen. I may or may not have, at some point or other in the past, few months, maybe, dropped by Cleo's house for a chat. Just for a chat. And maybe he immediately revealed everything that the two of you were doing, and I was like, I want in, or I'll, spill the beans. And I'm helping.
DM question.
Yeah.
I don't know who Cleo is, do I?
No, you know that they signed Cleo.
Yeah.
But you've never met Cleo.
Yeah, okay.
I've been working with you. Secretly, but I've been doing nice things, I promise.
You literally threatened your way into it. Why can you not do anything? Just a person.
Because no one ever does anything that way to me. Everyone's just, used me and my position in the circle of flame and my position close to you, and everyone's just used these things against me, and I don't know how to be anywhere else. I needed to.
Yes, no one's ever not just used you for something. Yep, that's correct. Stop following Kara and I just leave. I'm just like, wait, where's Cleo's house? Where's Cleo's house?
These coordinates are not Cleo's house. That's why
The Elysium? Where's Cleo's house? Who is Cleo?
We don't meet at his house.
What's his real name?
I'm not telling you that. He can tell you if he so wishes to. I'm not going to betray.
We don't know if he's alive. You just said you're worried that he's missing.
These coordinates didn't get there, by chance.
Let me get my friends first then, so that I have someone else, not someone I barely trust to do anything.
Okay, I guess. And she walks you to the door, and as you open the door, Kara's outside, and she's holding a weapon at your face. And she looks at the two of you, goes, "Follow me." And we cut to...
What? Wait, sorry. What?
Hang on, I'm in the wrong notes.
Oh yeah, that wasn't meant to happen. Let's backtrack.
That was meant to happen early last episode. Yeah, so you get walked all the way through the greenhouse and through the library, and then you get taken up some secret stairs in the back, all the way up to the top. And you open the door, and sat in the middle, illuminated from above, is this figure drowsed in obscurity. And you kind of look around, and Rhea and Ace are here, and they look a bit baffled. They don't really know how they got here. And the figure you all three of you look at has wisteria growing out of her skin, and her eyes are made of flickering pages. Instead of eyelids, it's book pages that seem to be infinitely flickering. And when you look at the oracle, you don't really see one face. You kind of see three moving with a slight delay, almost imperceptible from one another. And you would know, Ace, that the oracle is three entities who were so devoted to one another that they gave up their individuality to become one, and to form this one ultimate being of multitudes and just silence, deafening silence. And she's very imposing. And you know that she never speaks. And anytime she's said anything in the past, rumour says that she has never uttered a lie in her life. And her words carry so much weight and so much truth to them that you would really not rather be here right now with her looking at the five of you. The silence in here is so incredibly loud, it hurts you. And after a few minutes spent truly unable to really comprehend how you got here and why you're here, the Oracle is going to look at each of you one after the other. She's going to look at Ace and goes, guilt. And then she'll look at Rhea and go, truth. And then she's going to look at Billy and her head's going to turn and she's going to go, potential. Unlikely union. And then she's going to look at Dia and only say, curiosity kills the cat. And you see the pages in her eyes flutter faster as she starts to look at Kara, and you understand that something is being said but not spoken. Kara exits the room without really looking back, dragging Dia along with her, and you feel yourself get torn out of reality a little bit for a second, sucked out of here, as if you were kind of distorted through time and space, and you end up back at the entrance of the greenhouse, exhausted.
Is it just us three, or...?
The other two are here as well.
Has Kara still got a weapon?
Yes.
Okay, so I turn to Kara and I say, what the fuck was that? What is going on here?
Kara is already yelling at Dia. And basically she's yelling at her like, I won't hesitate to destroy you. I won't hesitate to destroy your career. Why are you spying on me? Who are you reporting to? You know what this means? It means you have to disappear. You don't get to just spy on your superiors like that. You could get me in trouble.
Can I try and move between them?
Yeah.
Do I need to use anything, or can I just do that?
Is there something that's like scary? Yeah, maybe command.
I could skirmish again.
You could grapple again if you want to grapple.
To be fair, maybe it is like, I don't know.
To be fair, I think if what you're trying to do is like physically pull them apart, skirmish works.
Yeah.
It could be more to be like, halt in the name of chill the fuck out. Then command.
No, I think I'm physically like yoinking Dia behind me. So I'm not nice about it, but I am trying to be protective.
Okay.
So yes, does skirmish work for that?
Sure, yeah.
Ooh, 5s. I've got 2 5s.
This doesn't help you. It's just 1 5 would have been enough, but...
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to tell you that I got 2 decent rolls rather than a decent one and a shit one.
Cool, so you managed to push Dia in the behind you. That's what I meant to say. And the consequence, because you didn't roll a 6, is just that Kara is still yelling off the top of her lungs that Dia is incompetent and doesn't know what the fuck she's doing and is causing so much more harm.
Screaming isn't helping.
Can I just like come in and try and... So I have just had a minute like catch my breath, and I'm realizing that Kara screaming the houses down will probably attract more attention than we really want at this point in time. So I reckon... I'm going to sway. I'm going to try and sway Cara by going up to her and trying to, like, talk her down and calm her down very, like, in a very chill fashion. So come on, I'm using Google's own dice roller now. So hopefully... 5 and a 1. 5 and a 1. Just 5. There we go.
Cool. She's calming down, but basically she goes, we're all in way over our heads, and Dia is not making this simpler for any of us.
Maybe it's because everyone's keeping secrets and we should just figure out what's going on.
Where do you think you are? This is hegemony. Secrets are more important than money here. And money's important.
I really hate to agree with the meathead. Love you, Billy. But
you know I'm smarter than most people.
Yeah, but, you know, Bance. As much as I hate to agree with the admittedly quite smart meathead, and as much as I've had my own share in this endeavour of underreported facts, I don't know. I know what I saw, but I don't know what I saw. And nothing like that has ever happened. And there are things that frankly shouldn't exist anymore, and we shouldn't have this conversation here. But we need to get our cards on the table.
Yeah,
or we're not going to survive this.
Ace like goes up to Cara and just like takes by the arm and says, if there's ever a point for us to all tell the truth, this is it. What Dio's done is unacceptable and we need to get out of here and you need to tell us what's going on. And I'm like, let's go to my ship.
Cool.
Let's go via the canals.
Sure. You make your way back to the ship via the canal so that no one really sees you all, the 5 of you all together. And it's a tense walk back. It's quite long and it's not comfortable for anyone. And you get to your ship.
Okay.
Ace like makes a cup of tea for everyone, puts a few bottles of whiskey on the table and some glasses. It's just trying to like chill people out a bit, you know?
Yeah.
We have weapons holstered, please.
So, and I'm going to step forward, like, I have... Honesty isn't my strong suit. Despite what the Oracle said, weirdly. So I think, in the interests of getting all of our cards on the table, hopefully so that Cara and Dio especially can be a bit more open with us all.
And maybe tell us what on earth just happened.
Yeah, I'm going to go first. So, Ace followed me today to a bar. A bar that shouldn't exist. I know that it shouldn't exist because I closed it. It was called the 7 Essential Sins. I ran it for a couple of years when Pigeon After first got here. You know, it was a good bar, some pretty good card tables, some craps tables. And it was a place for people to come around and kick it, and a place for me, specifically, to snoop. And to spy. And to learn things. It got too hot. It got too messy. I closed it down. I made sure I closed it down. I made sure that everybody who is anybody knew that not only did it not exist, but it had never existed. That building, I made sure that building was condemned. It was supposed to be demolished. There was supposed to be absolutely no trace that this place ever existed. So imagine my surprise to find out that some jumped up public school posh twat with a circle of flame are keying in my place. So I go, and I mean, this is it right now. They're like, they took over my spot and didn't even change the frickin' secret knock. I mean, that was sloppy. So the Oracle reopened it, and I found out that not only have higher-ups just been kicking there in general, as using it at the bar, but they've been trying to get down for meetings with only the tippy tops of each of the factions. And it was the last place that Herb was seen, and Herb was there for a meeting with the Oracle. And that is what I know. That is everything I know.
So how did you end up at the Oracle's?
I found a book in the manager's office. You know, it looked like it came from the Library of the Circle of Flame. There was this weird, I guess, mechanism or something embossed in its pages. Ace, I don't know who'd be able to work it. I don't know what went wrong, but something went wrong, and next thing I knew, we were in the Oracle's chamber. I don't know.
Do you have a
how it
picture?
happened.
Yeah, we do have a picture of it.
Can I see? This is Kara speaking. Okay. As soon as she sees the picture, she goes, "Oh yeah, no, that's a portal. We use them a lot to move around unnoticed."
Oh no, as a GM point, do we know that the Circle of Flame have portals? Is that normal?
No. You kind of assume all of the factions have ways around hegemony, because the Foundation made it very clear that the workers weren't really welcome amongst the tourists. So all the workers live in different areas in the tourist stay at, and they're not really supposed to be on the trains, and they're not really supposed to be walking around when they're not working. So you kind of, the thing, you didn't know about the portals, but you do know that every single faction has a way to move unnoticed.
Well, you guys are full of surprises. The Circle of Flame has portals.
Do you know what I could do with those?
Oh, we could really with one of those.
That is mostly why this is like super secret, will get me sent off to Lake Quito.
Is that a real thing? Is there actually what's going on with the lake? I've been wondering. What's the lake?
That's a gondolier thing. Listen, I'm not saying there's monsters in the lake, but I'm gonna say the people who disappear, when I try to track them down, and Dia is like nodding in the back, trail runs called at Lake Quito.
Okay, well, sounds like we need to go to Lake Quito at some point.
Yeah, we looks like. Okay, right. We'll deal with Lake Quito in a second. I have just told the truth so much, my ass hurts. So I'm gonna need, Kara, why are you armed? I thought you were a librarian. Why are you screaming at Dia? Can we just can you just be honest here for a second? Because I've really tried, okay? And I will not be the only one.
Simple. I figured out that someone had been spying on me for multiple months, maybe years, I don't know. And that person happens to be Dia. And I found out recently because she was sloppy. And what we're dealing with right now is no one's concern outside of the immediate people who can help. And I didn't think that Dia could help. But to be honest with you, I didn't think you would know Dia.
I don't. Billy does. So, Billy.
Dia's like, oh my god.
Dia's a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah, no shit.
She agreed today to stop following you, because I asked. But now I'm kind of like, maybe fair, because you just were like, ooh, violence, straight away, let's not ask questions. Which is, a good way to operate.
Do you think I get to take time to ask questions? Do you think you get this high in the circle of flame by asking questions? We get rid of the opposition, and that's how we keep the network safe. Anyone who can risk the security and the safety of the network needs to be eliminated. Me included.
I mean, not to interrupt your little crusade business here, but I'm going to say that I can't say that I've been out here trying to, foment a revolution or whatever, but I have been involved in some risky business in my time, and I've
we know
do
you.
it. With that, here's the thing, right? So yeah. So you know that my body count is 0, and you guys, there's so much more of, so many more of you. You have so many more resources, and you're evidently so much smarter than I am. If my body count, me working basically on my own, is 0, and you bitches are going around committing murders left, right, and centre. Like, you're getting 2-for-1 Tuesdays at, Freddy Krueger's Dine-In. It doesn't surprise me that one of your compatriots is willing to kill an entire planet for what? Bragging rights?
We're trying to save Demeter. And people snooping around and making us, highlighting us to the Oracle is not helping. The Oracle sees everything.
And on that, can we be clear of what the plan was here? You take Dia to the Oracle at gunpoint for what? What was the end game?
Punishment.
But the Oracle... Surely Dia could have exposed you there and then to the Oracle. Network down,
I took my chance.
And Dia's still here. What was the punishment? Is Dia still around because we showed up unexpectedly? What was going on with the Oracle there? What was that?
The Oracle asked me to deal with Dia, and I made the executive decision that meant proposing we work together from now on.
Is the Oracle in on the network?
No, of course not.
So what does she want you to work with Dia?
No, the Oracle doesn't want me to work with Dia. I didn't want to kill Dia because spying on me for multiple years is a set of skills that we could use. But the Oracle is never clear in what she says. And so when she asked me to deal with Dia, it is left up to me to do as I see fit. And if I was reasonable and pro-hegemony, then Dia would probably be in the lake. But I'm nice. I want to help. I don't know why I'm the bad guy now.
You just admit...
You were pointing a gun at my face.
You were in my way.
Yeah, the words of a good guy.
Yeah.
I know, because I've said them so many times. Right, so, I think we've established that shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
Do we need to find out what's going on at Lake Keto? Because that feels like our next step. Is that our next step?
I don't know, because we still don't know who wants to destroy Demeter, and that seems like we need to know that.
Dia's gonna say,
any clues?
I'm gonna go look for Cleo. I don't really care about the lake.
I want to go look for Cleo too.
Who's Cleo?
We're being
Mutual
honest.
friend.
Vague. Try again.
You know how Hegemone is sort of trash
Yeah.
in, like, ethically?
Mm-hmm.
The real idea, the non-stealing items that don't need to be taken, like just having the stuff that is, there is an abundance of and you can have it and you can just, try and have plants and collect them so that they can be, collected and studied and all that stuff. That's a good one. The whole capitalism aspect. That's the...
Yeah. Okay, cool. I know the marketing pitch. Who's Cleo?
So Cleo left a note to me in my locker to say that they could help make Hegemone that is like the actual thing that we want it to be. We've been calling it Elysium. And we just... I've been giving them plants to take. And I don't know what the fuck Dia's doing with it. Dia says that they're helping, but she who knows what she's doing.
Alright, so I am now going to roll sway, because that was still vague, to try and get Dia. Actually, am I thinking, this is sway. It's like, it's not quite command. It is a sway. So Dia, honey, obviously Billy does...
Dia's like kind of scared of you a little bit. In a like, I'm scared.
Scared of you in a I'm scared kind of way.
In a like, so clearly this person will outwit me. In that kind of way.
Okay, so let me roll. Please. Like, I've had such a good run of rolls so far today. Please. Fuck. Okay. It's a 3. It's a 3.
What are you saying?
So
You'll know if she lies.
Yeah, true. So, Dia. Okay, I think I have to come for something that just isn't gonna work. Dia, we both know Billy's full of shit. Like, come on now. Billy's, smart but dumb. And so how about me to you, all secret like. So who's Cleo? Really?
I didn't tell Billy, and that does mean I'm not gonna tell you. Cleo can reveal his identity whenever he wishes to do so.
Alright. Sorry for calling you Billy, stupid Billy, I didn't mean it. I was just trying to get... You know how it is.
He's a dear friend, and we need to help him. He's the only uncorrupt one.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Do we think he's still alive? Do we think he's not made it to Lake Quito yet?
So he found a way to leave a message in Billy's locker, which is how they usually communicate. I intercepted that message because Billy wouldn't have known what it was. It's the coordinates to Elysium, and I think that means he wants us to probably go to Elysium.
Okay.
I literally put it together immediately. I saw the piece of paper and was like, oh, it's the coordinates to Elysium.
I guess
yes,
there was
no,
a part
I'm too
of
stupid
me
to
that...
put it together. Yes, got it.
No, I guess there was just a part of me that kind of wanted to figure it out before you.
All right, messy.
So you're helping.
Helpful. Is Elysium on Hegemone?
Are you asking that?
I'm asking that to the person who knows the coordinates.
Would I know from looking at the coordinates anything, or?
Probably. Yeah. Do you know? Have I told you?
I know as
This is A to
Ambereen, I
Ambereen.
think.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if Billy knew.
I forgot if I told you what it was in the end.
We talked about it, but we didn't write
cool.
it down. We talked about it, so I don't remember entirely. I just have a vague memory of it.
Incredible. So Dia feels like the question is pointed to her. Because, like, Billy has never been there. Billy doesn't know who Cleo is. I'm trying to see what she'd reveal. Yeah. Dia's gonna basically look at you and go, it's off-world, on-world, just on Hegemony, but not on Hegemony.
Billy, you've seen these goddamn coordinates, right?
Yeah.
So, do you know what they are? Do you remember them? Have you got them? Let's just cut her out at this point. Like, if you're not going to be more helpful...
Wait, do I still have the papers?
If you're not going to be any more help for us, then there
I
is
didn't
no
give it
point
back. I
in
just
sticking
passed
around.
the coordinates over days. I was like, here you go.
If you want your friend Cleo to survive, the best chance you have right now is to stick with us and to actually give us some honesty. Either you start doing that, or there is genuinely no point in us having you around.
I mean, truly, she's being quite a hindrance, but, you know.
This was important to me, and it was important to Cleo, and I don't want to ruin it by giving you guys. I don't know if I can trust you yet. A way
Will
to
he trust
get
us?
to him.
What are your
We can
options?
just throw her out of here. I don't care.
You know what, whatever. We have the coordinates, yes.
Yes.
Whomst amongst us has enough points in study to look at it and see if they can figure something out?
This one. Me.
Okay, thank you.
That's 5.
Cool. This is clearly up in the atmosphere, and it is above the atmospheric layer that you know of as well. This is about as far away from the ground of Hegemony that people can get to without using the docking station, and by people I mean the Sparkrites, who, I don't know who knows this, someone knows this, I've forgotten who I've given it to, but the Sparkrites, because they control, monitor and deal with the atmospheric layer that they call the meteorological energy device uniquely supervising atmosphere, which is an extremely long name. They get a bit more freedom of movement than other factions to go and like do repairs and all of that. And that does mean that people tend to look at where they are specifically a bit less than everyone else. They're a bit less looked at as a faction. And because of that, they get involved in a lot of smuggling because they can get you or get things off-world. I think it must have been Ace, because who I gave this to, because you get lots of work from them. And they are almost your number one providers off of Hegemony when you can't go through your normal docking station friends and allies, because they're the only ones who can do that. So they run the shadiest of operations, but essentially they're engineers. And yeah, basically this coordinate that you have doesn't correspond to a base that exists in the Sparkrites bases that you have catalogued. But
Okay.
it is in the same sort of zone where all of these bases usually are.
So, dear, we know where the plants are being collected. We also are going to try and save Cleo. The chance we're going to Lake Como as well. Either you come with us, not Lake Como, that's something else. What is it? Lake
Keto.
Quito. So, we're heading in that direction anyway. You can tag along or not. That's your call. Everybody else, what do you want to do?
Elysium, let's go. It's our best lead so far.
Is it?
Can we...
Elysium,
Sorry.
let's go.
Where is it compared to the lake?
3D space. Above the lake. No. There's no correlation directly between the lake and Elysium as far as you can tell.
So where would you rather go, the lake or Elysium?
I don't know if either of these things are Demeter related, and that's got a time limit. But then Cleo might die. But then maybe there's dead. I don't know.
I don't know either. I just said I don't know either.
So, okay, the reason I think we should go to Elysium is that we have a seed that has been stolen that it isn't being kept to the Foundation. We know that. It probably is being kept with the gondoliers. Somebody who also has a secret seed keeping thing might be dying. And it is a top secret location that almost nobody knows about. Personally, if I was going to hide secret planet destroying seed, I would take out not only secret planet destroying seed, but also like the potential source of the collapse of our entire social political system. Take out our threat, Cleo, use whatever like hot shit greenhouse they've got to store super mega planet ending seed for whatever nefarious purpose I may have.
That makes a lot of sense. Also, Theo, is Cleo part of the gondoliers? Part of Sparkrites? No, Sparkrites. Must be Sparkrites. So Cleo's a Sparkrite and decently high up if it's a base that no one else knows of. What are the two leaders in Sparkrites? This is to A. There's Hecante and Medea, right?
Medea and Hecate.
Hecate.
Who we know were talking to Cersei. They were seen all talking together.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I think these are all good leads, but I still think Cersei's office. Cersei's the only person where we actually know they're involved with this and they'll probably have some info.
Okay. You know what? I'd actually forgotten about Cersei's office. Yeah, no. I think... But, here's the thing.
Office, Elysium, Lake. That order, let's go.
Three scores.
Straight after each other.
All three. There you go.
Scores.
One of us goes to each of them.
One of us goes to each place.
I think... Okay, so I think this is one situation in which splitting the party might not be a good idea. Okay,
This is the only situation, yes.
So, if... I reckon Cersei's office, you can probably get in and out... I mean, we have to be in and out fast. Right? We can't dither with that one. Because Elysium and Lake Keto will both take time. Because such a lake takes ages. Getting, to a goddamn secret space station will take a hot minute. For Cersei, we have to be in and out. We have to be in and out fast. So... Does anyone have a plan? Because I have an idea.
I have a second idea.
Okay.
Just to say, I'm very good at wrecking things. Like, very good. And if I wreck things, it's quiet and slightly more hidden than it would be if someone normally did. So if there's any kind of techie way in, that's a good approach.
Yeah. Okay, so Ambereen, if you do your plan first, I will...
So mine is more of a what we should set up in the first. So I think potentially we send off Thea and Kara, because I don't trust Thea to go alone, and Kara hopefully can deprioritize the murder, to get shit done. To go get some Sparkrites who can take us off world, so that when we leave the office, we can just bounce straight away.
Love that. And here's the thing, actually, because my idea is how to get us to the office. So,
incredible.
As we know, Cersei has a weakness for Texas Hold'em. Apparently, I'm being honest at the minute, so I know that there is a casino called Hippocrates that not everyone knows about, where the wealthy and powerful go to get the jollies. if I can call in a favour or 2, maybe 3, might end up owing people some things, but this is important, you know, end of the world and that. Then I might be able to, on relatively short notice, like hour's notice, set up a high stakes poker game. Cersei, provided she's not excessively busy, probably won't be able to resist. And that should give the 2 of you, because I'll run the table, I'll make sure that game lasts ages, I am a fucking card shark. The 2 of you will then have, I can probably give you an hour to get in and out.
Is there any way you can get someone else to run the card game?
Having you with
Because
us
if
would be
we
good.
get caught, we need someone to talk our way out of it, and I've only just learned how to lie.
That is a very good point. You know what? She's gonna kill me if I ask her to do this, but she'd do it for me. Ida runs a hell of a game.
Cool. Yes, let's do that.
Cool. This is as much planning as I'm going to allow you to do.
Yeah.
Before. So what's happening now is we've established Ida and Rhea's relationship enough that Ida would grumpily obviously agree to go get some smoky gossip and to get the opportunity to go play in Hippocrates, which most people never get to do. So she'll obviously cover for you. You will owe her for this.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I know.
And we're gonna start. So pick a score. Pick the type of score that you're gonna be doing.
This is unfortunately stealth going. We're trying to sneak in someplace. The next one will be transport though.
The next one will be a transport, won't it? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so stealth.
Okay.
How we we can't decide.
I'm gonna say that the point of entry is the fact that you've managed to empty that office using the card game, which is really smart, and I love that idea. So I want to like make it count for something. So you've entered. Let me know where you've entered. And
Sorry.
we'll go from
Don't we have to roll to find out
Engagement
whether
roll.
we start? The engagement
Okay.
roll. Because
So-
sorry, it's just why am I reminding you of things that make our lives harder?
It's good
Yeah.
because I don't know what I'm doing. So
Do we
Actually,
have to
very
agree our point of entry before the engagement roll? Is that saying how hard it is once we get in? Or is that something else?
So the engagement
I
roll
was-
is: do we get over the first obstacle right away? Do we start in a control position or risky position? And if we start in a basically, if we fail the engagement roll, then you know it will
We
decide
dive straight in.
what that means for us.
But yeah, basically, I just need to know if you're going through, like, it is night time now, so there's not going to be there's not going to be many people in the lab. Which way do you want to get in? Do you want to try and get through the windows directly into Cersei's office, or do you want to go through the window that's in the
What floor is it on?
the area? It's on it's one floor. The lab
No, I mean, is it on a ground floor?
Yes.
Let's go in through a window.
Cersei's windows?
Yeah, Cersei's
Cool.
windows.
So, one for sheer luck. Is the operation particularly bold or daring? Yes, this is a leader's office we're getting to. That's the second die for you. Is this operation overly complex? I'm going to say no because of the card game. We'll do the 2 scores one after the other because you said you were sending Dia and Kara to get you a ship from the Spark Rights. So what I'll do is we'll roll one engagement roll now and then one later. But we'll do them like in a row. So it's bold or daring, so that's 2 dice. There's no vulnerability. Actually, you are hitting Cersei where she's weakest by having her go gamble her life away. So I'm going to add a 3rd dice for that. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? Unfortunately, yes, because
Yeah.
this is so this is a
Expected as
-1.
much.
You're back to 2. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid? That'll be for later, so you'll get a +1 for the spark rights later. Remind me if I forget.
Do we not go
no
on for
one's
Ida?
interfering.
With Billy working there.
Sure. Well argued, I guess.
I said the names and then went. It's a good argument.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 dice. Okay, oh my Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh god.
I don't know if you can see this because I've picked the worst dice for this campaign, but that's 2 ones
115.
and a 5.
Five.
Oh my god. Thank you, Ambereen, for getting
Yes,
us
for
that the third die because we needed it.
Incredible. You're in a risky position when the action starts, that means. But that's better because that's just standard, basically. So, you're outside of these windows.
I'd like to use Tinker to try and get our way into them.
Absolutely, go ahead.
With these dice.
Use 2 greens. When I rolled 2 greens together, they were good.
Okay, 2 greens together it is. And yeah, I'm getting 2 for Tinker.
And also, I'm gonna take 1 stress to help you. I'm gonna look at the.
Yeah, I can't
Lots
afford
and help
to
to
take no more stress, but now I feel like I'm going to need it later.
So if you'd rather use Wreck because of your Saboteur special ability, I'll allow you to do so.
Well, I mean, it's 2 dice either way.
Oh, cool. Then do whatever. Tinker's fine.
So either I can Tinker, or I can wreck it, but in a way where people won't see it. So let's try.
I mean, I'd say. Because if you fail tinkering, we don't get in. If you fail wrecking,
It's gone
potentially it's
bad.
more that it's loud.
I agree. I think Tinker.
No, I meant as in. We'd still get in though.
1 minute, but meaning so Tinker's the better one to do, right? In case it goes wrong.
So I reckon try Tinker, and then if Tinker doesn't work,
We try wreck.
Then
We'll
can
wreck
try
it.
wreck.
That makes sense, yeah.
Makes
Go
sense.
for it.
Alright, let's do this.
You did 3 dice, right?
A 6!
Oh my god! Fucking. Oh my god!
It was the 2 greens together.
I feel
That
like
was
this has
good.
never happened before. This must have happened before.
no, I think Susie, I don't think you've ever rolled this well.
I don't think I've ever rolled higher than a 4 so far.
So wait, what did you roll? A 6 and a...
A 6, a 5, and a 1. So do those
Very
matter,
solid.
or is it just for the fun of knowing my
no.
rolls?
If you roll 2 6s, you're set for life, basically. 2 6s is an @20. So you absolutely tell me what you do with your tinkering tools.
So, with my tentacles, I can kind of 3 hands at once on this very complex lock, like a few tools that have appeared. I'm just like, and then it kind of pops open, and I pull it out, and we're in.
Incredible.
Ka-chow!
Ciao.
Amazing. You can now all get in unnoticed into Cersei's office. That is, I will repeat this, covered floor to ceiling in taxidermy animals.
Okay. I've got 1 dot in survey. Does anyone have more than that?
No, I've
Or
got one.
in anyone got multiple? So I reckon that if we roll survey first, and then we can get study for more detail.
I agree.
All right. So I mean, does anyone have 2 in the survey, or should I just go for
Now,
one?
roll that survey.
Okay, please. Two. I am way
don't
too
see
stressed out
anything?
from all the taxidermy
And
animals
also,
to see
you've
anything
kind
useful.
of made a noise, so a couple of the taxidermy animals, their eyes are looking at you now.
Can we... Do you want to do the, what's it called, the thing where you take stress to not have the result? Or
No, I'm because I've already got 3 stress. So I am gonna save that for a more serious consequence.
Okay, yeah.
Seems fair.
Susie, do you want to do the thing that we talked about?
The thing that we talked about.
Secrets are happening behind my back.
Flashback.
A flashback.
So, previously, whilst we were back in my ship, Billy told me about the taxidermy animals. And we thought they sound terrifying. And therefore came up with a few various things to try and stop them looking in our direction.
Yeah.
So, the first one is that we have a kind of smell bomb, which is going to mean that if these things are working from a sense of smell, they're going to be distracted.
Cool. Okay, one thing we forgot is load.
Oh, yeah.
In order to do that flashback, which is totally fine and acceptable, you're going to need to tick off in your... You've got those tinkering things with your specific ability. You get, like, weird stuff.
Okay, so like so you have to tick load, light, normal, or heavy.
Yeah, so you decide if you take light, it means that you're much quicker and people looking at you don't know that you're on a mission. If you take a normal, so 4 or 5, you do look like someone who's up for a mess. If you take heavy, you're much slower and you look like it says an operative on a mission, and that is what it is. And then if you take 7 to 9, which is encumbered. There's probably a better way to pronounce this.
Encumbered.
Encumbered. Brilliant. You're overburdened and you truly can barely move if you do. So the way the scores work is you decide before the score starts, or like now, it doesn't really matter, which one you're going for. And it's an amount of objects you can retroactively decide that you have with you. So for example, the smoke bombs are totally gadgets or fine wrecking tools, or call them what you want. You'll have to tick one off. So if you take a light load, you'll only be allowed
each of us or as a party?
No, for each of you.
Okay, I think I'm going to go light load.
Also with items, does that count as the load part, or is that separate?
It is the load. It's okay. So the load is stuff that I think everyone has the same, and then your items are stuff that are specific to your playbook. And you don't have to choose beforehand what objects, items, etc. you're taking with you. You decide the amount that you're taking with you. Oh, okay. And then you can decide as the score is happening which one you're pulling out, essentially. Sorry, back to the flashback. That'll probably cost you 1 stress, because it's just a regular flashback that you've prepared something.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, so we had it's like a smoke smell bomb. So it'll make that they can't really see what's going on. It'll be smoky. Not in a way where we can't breathe. We're still fine breathing, but it's just kind of like the room's a bit unclear and it smells. And then the other thing that I've made is a thing that I can throw across the room and it'll stick on a wall. And it's then gonna make a few little lights, a few little flashy lights, and a sound that's like me, 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 me.
Okay, I love that.
And it's going to kind of crawl around on the wall a bit, just on that wall over there in different places.
Cool. Do a tinker roll to see if in your flashback you've managed to create these.
Shall I do a tinker roll for both or just one for them?
Just do one for both.
Okay, cool. A 4.
Hooray! You managed to make one of the two. That's your consequence. You managed to make them, but only one is actually functioning, actually functions.
I think that's fair. I think I would like it to be the thing that makes the sounds and flashes.
Very cool. So, we're now back in the present, and you've got this device in your back pocket.
I think I'm not going to use it yet. I want to wait until any of the animals start to actually do anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to... Yeah. They're all completely still, then I start carnage.
Cool.
So can I survey the room if Ray has done it and it didn't work?
Yeah.
Is that right? Unless you'd like to, Billy.
Oh no, you can go for it.
Okay, cool. I'll survey the room. A 2.
It's only a 2 level of surveyable.
A good, like, half of the room is now starting to look at you.
Can I study the room to try and figure out if anything looks like it would be a secret
There's
door.
papers on the desk that you can study.
That too. Ooh! The 6. And a 2, but a 6.
Tasty. Brilliant. So what you see when you get into this room is all of these animals, and when you're trying to get closer to the desk, you need to be so careful that you're not just stepping on a cat's tail on the floor. On the desk, because you got a 6, you get 2 things. The first thing is that you do find traces. You recognize the soil. The seed was here. It's not here anymore. It's not on the desk. It's not. You look around and you can't see it anywhere near. But what you find instead is another message from Medea and Hecate that reads, "Gorgon down, need assistance."
Okay, and I'm just going to take pictures of everything that's on the desk whilst we're here. I'm like pulling out drawers and I'm taking pictures and I'm seeing all these cats everywhere.
Can I do one more study?
Yeah, but also you rolled a 6, so if you have a specific question, you can always ask again. And if it's a completely different thing, I'll tell you to roll again.
I want to know if there's anywhere here that looks like it could be the way into a secret entrance or something. If there's anything that looks like a secret door.
No. What you can see is, so there's the door that goes back out into the corridor. And then there's a door on the side, but it looks like all the doors that you guys use to walk around in the canals unnoticed. It just looks like it goes into the sewers. And it doesn't, like, it's not something surprising to you because you use these types of doors all the time.
I'm gonna go open that door.
Sure.
The taxidermy animals. Can I grab Billy and just pull them back a bit?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, do you really want to go in the door?
I need... Could
I'm
tell
like,
me something.
Fuck it. I threw my thing at the other wall.
Okay, what would that be?
That will be... Do you think I could say wreck? Is that a bit bold?
Not unless you were specifically
trying to break it. So I'm not trying to break it.
Yeah, trying to break something. I would have allowed you to wreck if it had been the smoke bomb.
I guess it's finesse.
Yeah, I think it's finesse.
In which case, I have a 0 in finesse.
Oh, what you said?
Brilliant.
Give it to me. I have 1 in finesse. I'll throw it. Give it to me and I'll throw it.
Is that allowed, when I've already...
That's allowed.
Thank you.
So Billy goes to this door and I grab Billy and then I go to throw it and Ray grabs me.
No, you can't throw for shit. I can throw slightly better.
Also, I love that this is fully not what we talked about.
In and out quickly. Through the secret door.
What's the risky, desperate, standard limited thing?
I wouldn't say it's. Oh, I guess you are reacting, so it might be desperate. That finesse roll might be desperate because
okay, fantastic.
That's what I was hoping.
Doesn't work.
Which is great because I previously rolled.
Nice.
Hey.
What a fucking mess. Incredible. So, you throw the bomb, the weird animal with eyes that emits sound, onto the other wall, and immediately all of the eyes look, and you even hear some creaking, weird animal skin turning. And you I can cut back on the animal skin noise.
No.
It's grim, but it's not like
Yeah, it's not
stressing me out grim.
Okay. And yeah, Billy, do you want to go investigate this door?
Yes.
Have the animals moved, or have they just turned their heads? They've not like started
The
walking
animals,
anywhere.
you've never seen the animals move beyond their eyes.
Can I?
I was gonna.
Moment,
Can I
sorry, go for it.
study the door before I try to open it, just to see if there's anything fishy looking about the door?
Go ahead, study the door.
So for Billy to get to the door, has Billy like kind of side shuffled through the taxidermy animals
Yes.
to get to
That's
the door?
exactly what's happened.
Oh,
It's a 5.
A 5. It's a door, my dude.
I gotta be sure. I open
The
it.
consequence of not rolling a 6 on that is that you've now stepped on a taxidermied animal's tail.
I go sorry, and then I open the door.
You open the door, and as you'd expect, it is just a way with a little boat that goes down the canal. The secret canals that you guys have.
that's worth us knowing for a future time. Like, Billy, go down if you have to, then we'll know the way back in.
I feel
Can
like
I?
there's more in the room.
What? I'm saying if you have to, if the animals follow you.
Oh, okay.
Flashback.
Go ahead.
So I
How much
also
stress
made-
have you got left to take?
I was only allowed to make one of those things. So, how much stress? I'm quite high on stress. How much stress am I allowed to have again?
Until you've filled in the whole,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
like 10?
6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
9? It's
Oh,
fine.
Six.
Yeah, 9 before consequences.
So, in this flashback, I made some other fun tools for the
Yeah.
for the score. One was I've made some little like microphones and little mini cameras, and I'm just gonna kind of put them around Cersei's
Okay.
desk.
Roll a
What-
tinker.
and can I say there's another thing I made in this flashback?
Sure.
Which is like because this is kind of things we've had generally for our heists, I think. But also for other heists, I've made like this kind of like survey thing, so I can just kind of like look at the walls and like see if there's anything weird going on, like any kind of like where there's a gap where there would be something, or like secret rooms or things.
Yeah.
That's my things. So, what am I rolling?
Tinker.
Tinker.
Can I help?
Can you have?
Yeah? Cool. I'm assisting. I'll mark a stress.
I'm not giving you anything as to like.
I did it. I've taken it.
Okay, so how many die is that?
That's an extra
Shall I
point for you.
re-roll these?
No, keep the same. Reroll one more.
Okay. So, just to say, this was what I had before that extra dice. But it's a 4.
Nice.
Well, you had 4 dice. You roll a 4. Oh dear God.
I had 3. I only had 3 on that one.
Okay, you have 3
Very
dice.
sad.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but I feel really bad for Ace. God bless her. She's got no
Ace
luck.
is just not having a good time.
This is why Ace always like kind of just like wrecks things and tinkers with things, because it's like if it goes wrong all the time, it's like low stakes. Okay,
this
so-
is as earlier. The consequence, which you can refuse if you want to, is that you'll only be able to make one of the two.
I think I'd like to make both of. No, because I can't take much more stress. That's fine. I'll make one. I'll make the, and by one I mean the cameras and the recording stuff. Is that classing as
That's
one?
allowed. Yeah, that's one.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Some
so
sort of spying.
the bugging kind of stuff, and yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
place those discreetly. Should I roll to see how well I, like, whether I hide them
Yes.
well or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'll take 1 stress to help you with that.
Okay. Cool.
That'll be desperate.
Okay.
Is there a chance this could class as wreck, or is this tinker?
This is like you could argue that this was finesse, but I don't think this is wreck.
I think it's
How much
not
have you
red.
got in prowl? Could you count it as prowl?
Sure.
Okay, prowl I've got 1 in, so I've got 2 dice. I'll go back for my green ones. Thank you, Rhea.
You're welcome.
I see your stress. You know how incompetent Ace is.
Oh god.
A 3.
Is that the best you did?
A 3 and 1.
This, I feel like Susie. Are you okay? Like, are you all right? Have you broken a mirror lately?
Have you cursed out a god or like?
Genuinely, when I was a kid, I used to just roll 5s and 6s. And I think I used
You
it all
used
my
up all
luck
your lore.
before I was
It's gone.
like 12.
You'll never have it again.
And now I have used it all up. My average is now having to come down.
So I think what happens is firstly, those devices somehow don't work, and the consequence is going to be that you leave one behind.
Okay. All right. So what we know so far.
1 minute. I
The
could
seed
stop
was
that
here.
consequence. Sorry.
Oh, you can resist the consequence.
How could I resist the consequence?
It's
The stress thing.
It's a dice roll again.
My stress is already 6. I've only got 3 more until I have a life, like a personality altering.
I'd say it's fine. Leave it. We'll be off planet by the time it gets noticed.
Yeah.
Is there no chance Rhea, like, kind of is watching and with a finesse kind of looks at what's happening and like...
Oh, here we go. So can I roll for finesse to check around and make sure that everything is gone? Like, can I
I'll let you
survey?
do that when everyone has like decided to leave. You can do a last check. to
Okay,
put everything back
all
in
right.
place.
Okay, cool. Hopefully
Those
we'll be
are-
able to.
But yeah, there was a bookshelf in here, right?
Yes,
Can I just rifle through everything in it?
you've got a 6 on the survey, Ambereen. There's nothing left in this room.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we just leave? We can leave through the canals and see where that goes, if it goes anywhere interesting. And then head towards the next school.
Alright, so for doing that, then I'm going to roll. I mean, it doesn't really matter because I've got, just 1 dot on both survey and finesse. Would this count as desperate or is it just risky?
Just risky, I think.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
It was.
Please. 4. Older 4.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, because those are the rules I made up, that you successfully put everything back in its place and you managed to find that old device that was left behind. But I'm gonna say that Cersei will know someone's been here. You've not left
Okay.
anything back, tracing it back to you, but Cersei will know that someone's been here.
And we've taken the animal device thing as well, right?
Yeah, taking everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Check.
press a little
You've-
button
you've-
and it like scurries across the ceiling and down
Yeah.
the wall back to me.
That's cute.
Well, and it stops beeping before it does that.
Okay, so that is 1 score down. Next score. Let's go!
Let's keep going. I have
Incredible,
a quick
so-
thought that I'm going to share though. You know how gorgons turn people into statues? This is a bunch of taxidermied animals. That's just a link I've made. Just a
Yeah.
concerning link.
Yeah.
As in animals that are alive
But
but are
frozen.
stuck in frozen. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
But also we gotta... It's fine, we'll deal with this in the next score, it's fine.
Basically, to be honest, we will deal with all of this probably during our downtime.
Just because of my I want to make sure we got this right. Ace went out of the window and closed the window behind them and like locked it.
Yeah.
I think the thing that the window is gonna have not been properly closed, because closing it from the outside will leave like a trace that it's been closed from the outside, and that's how Cersei's gonna know that someone's been in here.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Cool.
So
What are you doing now?
now we are going to Elysium. You know?
Go ahead.
So have you gone through the canals, or have you gone back out the window?
canals?
So I think me and Billy went through the canals.
How do we split the party
Ace
all the goddamn
went
time?
But to be
out
fair,
the
let's say
window.
I went out the canals, because that makes sense just to close the window behind me. If I didn't break the mechanism, I should have just been able to close it, right? Yeah.
So there we go. We're all out through the canals, heading towards the meeting, whatever meeting place we decided to get to Elysium.
Cool. I am going to roll the engagement roll to
Yep.
see where you end up. One dice for sheer luck. It is not particularly bold or daring. You're not expecting anyone to be against you in this score because it's the spark rights involved, and also, there's no reason for you to doubt Elysium would be safe. Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? I don't think so. You've planned accordingly for that already. Does it expose a vulnerability of the target? No. There's not really a target. You don't know who the target is, really.
Question. Again, this is just Ambereen trying to game dice here. The target is Elysium. And a vulnerability, like a thing that it had as a way to protect itself, was having its location be secret. And we know the exact location. So we've targeted a vulnerability.
Sure.
Sure, you know what? Thank you, Ambereen.
Sure. I encourage the bullshitting. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid? Yes, you're getting an
Yes.
extra dice for this. Are enemies or rivals interfering with the operation? No one really knows that you're up to this, so I don't think so. Cersei is still gambling all her money away in her book twos. Are there any other elements that you want to consider? No, I think 3 dice is fair enough for an engagement roll for this. You did do sufficient prep. I just need you to tell me what type of score it will be and the detail for that score.
But this is transport, isn't it? So we're trying to get everyone to Elysium, so that we can find out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And the route, what does it say? The route and means, and you've got that sorted. So we'll get started. That's a 6. Hang on, I'm showing you. I don't want you to think I'm lying.
Yay!
Ooh.
Fantastic.
That was a good roll.
All the evens.
Brilliant. So, you're in controlled position when this starts, which I think means that you've gone down the canal. Billy, you know these canals by heart. You use them all the time. You quickly come back to the main route that you all use, and it means that you end up right in front of the entrance of the greenhouse, and you decided to meet because you have no reason to doubt the spark rights inside, because it's much easier to get a ship in and out from there directly. So the door to the spark rights compound it feels out of place in this big steel and glass structure of the greenhouse, because it looks kind of like a shed, like a tool shed with lots of tools everywhere scattered all around, and there's so much equipment everywhere that you wouldn't know where to even begin looking for an entrance if you didn't know where it was. But you perfectly know that there's a little lever behind one of the tools. Why would I think I would know how to improvise the name of tools? A hammer! That's what I'm looking for. You know they need to push a little hammer and then bring it down, and that opens the secret trapdoor in the back. And you've been here before, but it still surprises you because what you find inside clashes completely with what you've seen before. Now you're in maybe the most technologically advanced area on Hegemone that's it. Like, there's what you see is just sleek black walls that seem to go on forever with dark green lines, but the dark green is the colour of rusted bronze. And up and down you see sequences of ones and zeros disappearing as those lines flash through, and as they go through they illuminate hundreds and hundreds of little pods that seem to like detach from the wall and then fly away and back at the very back of that, and then up the wall, and it seems to go on forever, but eventually you lose sight of them and you just assume that they've taken off. You walk forward and quickly you find Dia, who waves at you, and as you go there, a ship is ready for you. It's been cleared for takeoff and you can immediately get on there, and you do. And you're on the ship on your way to Elysium. You put in the coordinates, and is there anything anyone wants to do?
Does Dia come with?
Do you want Dia to come with?
No, but I also feel like she would.
Yeah. It does mean the atmosphere's a bit tense in the ship now, but quite quickly, I mean, these are the types of ships that do these routes like thousands of times a day. You end up quite quickly up above Hegemone. You see it from above, which is a rare sight for you, because there's no reason for you to have been really on this side of the planet, this high up in the atmosphere. You cross the atmospheric layer and it feels weird, like it feels like it's holding you back a little bit, and then it tenses, but you end up pushing through, and you see just a little pod that looks like all the other bases around, and Dia's like, yeah, that's Elysium, and you dock the ship at the docking station of Elysium. Everyone goes through all of the necessary airlock things that they need to get through, and you open the door, and what you see is Elysium has been wrecked, and in the far back of all of these plants that have crashed to the ground, chained to the lab table is half unconscious Cleo on the floor, who looks up, sees you, Rhea, and goes, "Oh no, not you. This is Jean." And
Jean?
this is where we will stop episode 3 of Hegemone.
You can't take people from Maz's backstory and put them in my backstory.
I'm sorry, I can't. You said? I think you're fine. I perfectly can. When I specifically asked, is Cleo like a name that is like a code name? And you said yes. From that point on. Thank you everyone for joining us for episode 3. As always, join us on Patreon for if you want to know what this is about already. This episode and the next one are already up on the Patreon, so if you can't wait an extra week, feel free to join us there. And if not, tell your friends about us. Like us on all social medias at @BlanketFortRPG. That's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube.
Everywhere.
All of them. All of the social medias, the many social medias. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.